I'm a really strong believer of atmosphere, hence the open kitchen. A lot of chefs are closed behind doors, so the chance for the diner to have that experience is quite important, and it gives them an insight to actually how hard the cooking side of things can be in a restaurant. I actually find it very hard to disconnect. I wouldn't say I'm an aggressive kind of human being just by nature, but I'm definitely very passionate about what I do, and when it's in the kitchen, I think it may be the restaurants where I have worked in the past that has led me to be quite articulate and quite particular in the way we're plating things or sending things. You know, I can hear cutlery fall on the floor, and if no one else hears it, you know, it makes me upset. Some nights you just think to yourself, what are we doing? Is it really worth it? I think everybody hits a point in their life when they want different things. Before I actually wanted to own a restaurant, I just wanted to be a chef. And it so happened that I met my lovely wife, and we actually met in an open kitchen as well. It's love at first sight. When we first met, I used to say to her, I'm a machine. After work hours, which are late at night, you'd go out for a drink. You get home with 3 hours sleep and then you're up again. And that would be 5 to 6 days sometimes.
I think you almost thrived on that though.
Yeah.
That was like the adrenaline.
That was the
of
adrenaline.
Getting through it.
Eventually it just hit a breaking point where something definitely switched and made me realise that there is a little bit more to what we're doing. There needs to be a bigger picture in terms of what we're doing for our lives and what we're doing for our staff and what we want to create. So I think that's where the goal is for LABART, is to completely create the opposite of what I think hospitality has a name for.
Actually opening a restaurant with Alex and doing it from scratch.
Incredibly challenging.
Challenging, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, I grew up on the Gold Coast, but I didn't think I'd ever come back here. And it was Alex's idea to have a better lifestyle, be closer to the beach. I was a bit scared whether a restaurant like this would work on the Gold Coast, especially being in a quiet back street in Burleigh Heads. We don't have the ocean views.
But I think once we got up and running, we knew that we had something pretty special.
Since we've been here, there has definitely been a change in the dining scene. We're definitely seeing Sydney and Melbourne chefs and restaurateurs leaving the bigger cities and coming to Queensland. And there's an audience here, a demographic that's dying for that kind of quality of food.
Whether it be a cafe, a restaurant, or food truck, the thought of having something for yourself, no matter what it be, is pretty cool. I think that's the luxury of moving up here to Queensland, and you're surrounded by great produce from the ocean to the land. What we're trying to do here at LABART is trying to go directly to the farm or the fisherman. Yeah, a good example is a fisherman that I'm using out of Main Beach. He's getting spanner crabs. Us being seasonal is working with what nature has to give us. Do our best to treat it with respect, and the end reward is tremendous. The flavour and the produce stands out for itself.
When I met you, I was almost scared that it only worked because we didn't see each other that much, as we only had a couple of days off. Will it actually work when we see each other all the time? Happy to report it does. Yeah.
It works fine. It's funny to see my mentality slowly changing. It's not just about putting food on a plate anymore. Wanting to teach our staff is quite important. Whether or not they stay here and work for me or work for someone else, they always have to be better and want to reach a different level in their cooking career. The pressure of always wanting to do better or trying to impress social media or media outlets and journalists and reviewers, it's quite daunting for me. It's hard to find a balance, and I think that's where the thought of just failing is it's massive. My escape route is definitely the kitchen. I like coming in here and being by myself and putting music and prepping. It's my go-to. I can prep for days.
The first year of LABART has been completely worth it. The feedback from customers, their words of thanks and how grateful they are for the experience is probably the most rewarding part of it.
Definitely still learning. There's always going to be challenges in what we do, and it's still definitely a learning curve. The future is bright for LABART and myself and Carla. I think we're on the right track. Better lifestyle, more rewards and hard work. Yeah, for sure.